From the City of Angels, it's Sunday night. Time for MMT Sunday Evening Spectacular. Tonight, the movie everybody is talking about. The Obsession with Obsession. Our lead story tonight. In the background, from the score. Just love this score. We don't talk enough about the importance of score to film. I'm kidding. I talk about it all the time. But now that it's available on YouTube, here's a taste of it. Also tonight, I have a question for you. You see it in the corner of your screen there. Have you seen Obsession in theaters? If you haven't, are you going to see Obsession in theaters? That is our question tonight. You can reply simply in the chat with a 1, a 2, or a 3, and there are your answers right there as you see here. Let's also talk about tonight Mandalorian and Grogu going under Solo, not just by a little but a lot, and I'll explain that coming up. Also tonight, we're going to have the live MMTE of Passenger, a Jeepers Creepers ripoff that was hell to endure. That'll be fun. Also, we have our cringy person of the week. No, it's not me. By the way, some love for tonight's graphics package with the kit. Bolton moving up in the world in the EFL, and we decided to roll with them here tonight on this Sunday night. Thanks for being here, as always, a pleasure. Okay, let's get the latest numbers on Obsession. In case you missed it, this film is killing it at the box office in a way that we have not seen virtually ever. This just doesn't happen. I'm calling tonight's stream Obsession's Cultural Capture because you've got so many people discussing a small indie film that was acquired by Focus Features for $15 million and now has, as you look at the email direct from Universal, the worldwide numbers on this film, you're looking at $73.9 million on the worldwide. That is up 30% this weekend. Okay, first of all, you guys know that never happens. The only time that you see any kind of surge is around the Christmas corridor. The Ring did it forever ago, but nowadays everything goes down. Typically, a big blockbuster is dropping 50% or more, 60. If it's really bad, 70. In this case, we're going up 30. Okay? So you're not just talking about a plus 30, you're talking about a typical drop of 50, and now we're 30 up. So we're talking about an 80% swing on people going to see this film. Why? Here's the reasons. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch our stream from that Thursday night when we watched it. What did I tell you guys that night? I told you guys that this is a great horror film. I would argue a masterpiece of the 2020s. The best horror film of the 2020s, without question. You have to go back to a Hereditary before you get to something this great. So many choices here by Barker that I adore. And I think that score is part of it. That taste, right? A director is charged with the ability to make the creative decisions that make the film pop. And guess what? This film does across every level. We were blown away. I can still feel a little bit of that energy from that stream. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube. If you're watching on X tonight, welcome to you here live from Los Angeles. Our number 2 reason couples right into why we have stratospheric word of mouth, because it's a great horror film, because people are seeing this film and going, oh my God, this is an event. This is next level shit. And I'll tell you what's also happening. I saw it happen in my half full screening. When I saw it here in Burbank at one of the smaller locations, I noticed a ton of people who were totally into watching it with the group and having a reaction to the screen. Last night, when I came out of Passenger, I meandered into a couple different theaters, just kind of stand on the side and watch what's happening inside. ride because I wanted to get a feel for how audiences are reacting to this film with a packed crowd in the second weekend. And AMC Burbank had a packed crowd, not just in the regular laser theater, but also in Prime, which is a big PLF there at AMC Burbank. I noticed people reacting, going, oh my God, no way, all that stuff, right? But this is the kind of film you can do that. People are collectively experiencing this roller coaster ride that is easily the best horror film this year, I would again argue, of the 2020s. It's that strong, okay? As I said, when I watched this film, if I were at the point where I could be in on the bidding for this film, I would have gone to 20 million or more. And guess what? I would have been right, because whoever begged out at 15, it's where we ended up here with Focus, I would have gone to 20, because I know when I watched this film, this is great horror, not just good, great. And I am all in. What cash do we have? I am buying this film. We're not leaving here without this film. That's what I want to do. I talk about this all the time. I don't think there's anybody in this entire universe who'd be better in that situation than myself, and I think you guys know it, because I'm objective, I'm fair, and when I bring the masterpiece label, when I bring the best horror film of the 2020s, when I'm talking that way, you guys know, and you've seen the film, you're with me, I know you guys are. Very few people are having a problem with this film, and if you do, you probably have an issue with, I don't know, taste. Clearly, because it's right here in front of you. We talk about this all the time, right? The ability to recognize greatness, to see the elements that are in play here. So many things beyond Indy Navarrette's performance. Yes, that's important, but it's also about Barker's directorial choices. You go back to, we talk about when she has the spell and it initially is taking over, his use of the score, bringing it in when she's being possessed and then out when she's trying to fight it and then back in. These are the things that make a director great, and he is clearly the best of the young directors that we have seen come into the space, and yes, much better than Zach Cregger. This isn't even a contest. If you're asking me which one of these guys is going to have a better career, long haul, it is going to be Barker, because of what I just saw with Obsession. I have not seen something from Cregger that comes close to this film. This is a great film, no question. Now, if you've seen the film, come in, give me your comments. We've had a little bit of time now. Second weekend, again, up 30%. You're talking about another day tomorrow and Memorial Day that'll be big for this film as well, because you're looking at that word of mouth. That is something we do not see often, but go back to my stream on that Thursday. I need you to do that. You'll see exactly what's happening. You saw it happen on that stream. That's occurring not just there, but across everywhere, because people no, this is the real deal. This is not Sinners. This is not weapons hype. This is legitimate hype. And that's why this film is doing the bonkers business that it is. Curry Barker's visual elegance is absolutely haunting, especially with how he frames Nikki in the black shadows. Luis, it's not just that. We talked about it. I love it, right? No question on what you're saying here. But I also love the aspect ratio squeeze. Now, I explained why that's important, because when you do that, you're bringing the viewer's eyes into a tighter area, so you can have everything unfold here rather than a little bit outside the margins. So I like that. You see, it's the little things with this film. It's that score in and out, the potting up, the potting down, the sudden just drop of it. All of this stuff is what makes Barker the man to watch going forward, and he already has his next film done, and Blumhouse is in on this one from the ground floor. I'm going to talk about that in a second, because they weren't on the ground floor on this film, and it's important we state that here tonight, because you guys know how often I trash Jason Blum. I don't think there's ever been a producer in this town who has worse taste as a producer, who has more power than Jason Blum. I defy you to come up with someone who has come up with more garbage films over their filmography than Jason Blum. We'll talk about that in a second. Saw Obsession twice. First crowd was laughing. Second crowd was like, what the fuck? And that's exactly what happens, right? Luis, when you get to that moment in the car with the cinder block, you go, oh my God, people just lose it. That's when you realize we are playing at a level that we have not seen in a very long time. Go back to Hereditary, another film that blows you away. These are different films, obviously. I think the thing that I love about this film, and it doesn't happen often, you guys know how I have issues with tone, right? Where we have that swing from comedy to drama, and it doesn't work. Somehow, some way, and it speaks to Barker's genius. It works. Where I talk about that scene late in the film, right? When he's going back in and he's like, hey, I want to get another one. This isn't working. And the guy's like, hey, you can't bring that energy in here. Like, that worked, right? It shouldn't work, but it does. And trust me, I know when it works, okay? You can talk about how that. No one's better at gauging what works and what doesn't. I'm telling you, no one. I don't know. Listen, the creator bestowed upon me a taste of excellence that I honestly, it just is what it is. It was given to me as a gift, and I'm lucky to be able to share it and spread it. I'd love to be able to get in and actually affect this stuff on an earlier level, right? Get in here and get these things cleaned up, make these films better. I told you guys when I came out of Obsession, I would have no notes. We are good. Let's get this film. We are buying it. We're slapping our label on it, and we're going to make a ton of fucking cash. That's what would have happened if I were in Toronto. I would have gone to 20 million, maybe even more. Honestly, I really would, because I'm like, listen, to break even, we're at 45, 50 million. I think we can get 50 million worldwide out of this film. So let's go to 20. Let's go to 21. Let's literally do The Price is Right. I'm going to bid $1 over, and I'm taking this motherfucker home. Did you have a problem with the elevator scene in Drive, but not with the car scene in Obsession? Both go too far because Drive's not a horror film. That's why. Good question, Gone Girl. That's exactly why, right? You need to show restraint in Drive. I think in a horror film, I don't have a problem with it. Now, listen, there were 6 more head smashes, right? And they had to cut that to avoid that NC-17 rating. So yes, it is right on the fence, okay? It's very Terrifier-esque. We talked about that night, right? Again, none of this is new. I discussed this the second I walked out of this film. I didn't just recognize all these things now. I recognized it way back when, okay? So when you look at that, it's almost to the level, and it's hard. You can't really describe sometimes exactly what that level is or what that limit is until you see it, and I think we're right there. So I actually am with that decision to obviously not go to NC-17 because you're very close. No question about it. You head smashing pumpkin scene in Drive, smashing the head in the elevator. It's just too much. You don't need to see the face get smashed at the end. You restraint. You do Jaws. You just show me a little. We hear it. We know what's going on, right? You don't need to see it. I think there's more power in restraint, right? So yes, great question. But I think here it works because that's what sells it as real horror, right? Because there's not a whole lot. Yes, there's horror here and there, but her blowing him away. By the way, some spoilers. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, right. Yes, but that's the signature Terrifier-esque scene. And I think without that scene, without that level of escalation, then you're talking about not as great a film. And again, it's not going to be applied every time the same. But again, it gets back to Barker knowing the calibration. That's really the best way to describe this, and I talk about it all the time. Calibration, right? How are the knobs twisted? How tightly is this versus that? How much are you letting this go or tightening this up? This is all calibration, right? Just fine-tuning. I think this film is fine-tuned. Now, could I do maybe? Okay, but listen, I'm talking about no major things. Nothing like, oh my God. I think we just also praise Michael Johnson's performance a bit more, just the right amount of humor. I think you look at her performance certainly is the best in the film. And I don't think anyone here's a detriment. Some people said the kid is okay. I don't think he's bad. Is he at her level? No. Could he restrain himself a little bit more in some of those reactions? Yes. But listen, again, you can't say that everything's got to be perfect. Sometimes you're not going to get exactly the best, but I think that he does a decent enough job. I mean, it's not as strong as she is. If she's not an awards contender, at least at the Spirit Awards at a minimum, okay? Golden Globes for sure as well, because they have more leeway with that comedy. They could call it a comedy, right? You can squeeze her there. I just think she has to be part of the conversation. It's that good a performance. And I think, you talked about back when that film, we saw it on that Thursday night, I mentioned how she's having so much fun with this film because as an actress, you can't ask for more than this, right? To be able to yo-yo your performance, to go from possessed, not possessed, crazy, sane, back and forth. This is an actress's dream to get this role, and she killed it. So it's one thing to want it. It's another to deliver upon it. We talk about that all the time. And she did both. Obviously, she wanted the role, she got the role, and she delivered in spades, and she will be, I guarantee you, in at least more than one critics group is going to go for her in Best Actress. Not supporting. That's not a supporting performance. That is a lead performance, and we need to get that out of the way right now. Anyone who thinks that it's supporting, the only reason that Focus would push it supporting is because they know that it's easier to get her in at a supporting play than a lead because there's just more flexibility there and it's almost a lead, so it's a huge supporting. We'll get into that as we get into award season. It's too early, but you guys see what I'm saying. We talk about this all the time. Go back to The Favorite. I mention that all the time, how Searchlight was able to slot those three. Emma Stone is the lead of The Favorite. But if you do not recall, remember, Olivia Colman was lead because they made her lead and they made Emma Stone supporting. Why'd they do that? Emma had just won for La La Land, so you needed to know that the voters were probably going to say, she just won. So let's slide her supporting, and guess what? They got the nomination supporting, and they got the win, Olivia Colman. That's how you play the game. I'd be very good at that too, but I can tell you right now, I'm not putting her in supporting. No chance. Let's talk about this right here. This is important because I mentioned Blumhouse, and I'm just, listen, I just sent this tweet. I need to explain to you right now, guys. You need to hear me. You need to understand, and I know some of you do. There is no one in this film space who's more educated, more fearless, more objective, and more hammer-bringing than me. No one, okay? And I'm proving it again right here. Blumhouse is one of the producers on this film. But when I'm watching this film, I'm saying to myself, this is not a Blumhouse film. How do I know it's not a Blumhouse film? Did you guys see Night Swim? Did you guys see Imaginary? Let me pull up a list of films that were just absolute trash heap shit that I've seen in the last few years from them. You look across the board, Blumhouse makes garbage films. I'm talking some shit that if you haven't seen it, you're lucky. Wolfman. Ooh, Megan too. Okay, listen, I was just talking to Gone Girl before this stream started. If I were at Universal and they brought me Megan 2 and said, here's the sequel to Megan, and I sat through that, I kid you not, at that moment, I would grab whatever I could off my desk and hurl it at the wall. Chairs would go flying. I would be screaming at a level that they'd be like, okay, we got to get everyone out of the room. This guy's losing it. Who made this? How did you make this shit? Jason Blum thought this was good. Megan 2 is refuse, and it's just insultingly awful. What a bad film. And when you make stuff like that, I'm allowed to call Jason Blum the most overrated producer and lack of talent that I've ever seen in my life at a position that he's in. No chance. Now, listen, why am I saying what I just said about me being the most fearless and objective and hammer-bringing? Because there's no one else in this town that would say what they just said. You know why? Because guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get invited to the next screening. I don't fucking care, because I'm going to say what realities are, and if you don't like it, too bad, because it's true. You didn't sit through these films. Let's go over a few more before I go over this. Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one, not a good film, and that's how you wreck IP. We haven't even mentioned Halloween. Halloween ends with Corey? What the fuck? Are you guys kidding me? You're kidding me. Remember that night. Go watch that stream. I was furious, okay? Just like Megan. Of course, more furious on Halloween because what they did to Michael Myers. They did the tag team killing with Corey. Unbelievable. And just the choices alone in that film. I mean, this is completely inexcusable. This is fireable shit, okay? Insidious, bad. Do you see the last one? Not good. Okay? Where's some other ones here? Black Phone's a rare decent. I don't think it's great. Decent. Not the second one. Second one's crap. Okay? So there you go. Again, a bad sequel. Megan 2, way worse, but still unwatchable. Okay? So here's why I bring it back to that. Back to what I'm talking about. So here's what happened. So when Obsession was purchased, it was purchased by Focus Features, who's owned by Universal, who has a deal with Blumhouse. Then in comes Jason Blum, and all of a sudden it's a, quote, Blumhouse movie. Let me tell you something. Blumhouse has never made a film this good. Never. Not a Get. It's better than Get Out. Sorry. And by the way, what I love is when I said like Blumhouse makes garbage, someone's like, what about Get Out? Like, what? Don't be the cherry picker. Don't be the cherry picker. Okay. When I list off 50 shit films and you're like, what about Get Out? What are you doing? Like, stop. And if you're watching right now, who's the producer or whatever that said that? If you're doing that, just know you're disingenuous. Like, just garbage. Like, just, what are you doing? Stop. Stop doing that. Stop defending the guy that you want to get a job from. You know, just like, stop ass kissing. Stop. This whole town. Oh, well, Jason Blum might give me a job. Well, yeah, if it's a bad movie like Night Swim, well, I don't think you want to work for him. Dude, also, I've heard the pay for Blumhouse is like nothing. Here's your $5. Minimum wage. You're working for Blumhouse, and their offices at one time were in a really like suspect area of LA. Why? Because it's cheap office. You don't have to pay any money down there. Where are your offices? Like in this weird area of Silver Lake, kind of like Rampart. I'm like, what the hell? We went down there for a screening. This is when I was actually still like not hating on them as much because I hadn't sat through things like Night Swim and Imaginary and Wolfman. I got like, I don't know if my car is going to be safe here. Now it wouldn't. Now if you park at Blumhouse where it's located in LA, it's totally getting a window smashed. I don't care if you have nothing in the car. They're just going to smash it and look around. That's what they're going to do. If Blumhouse is actually funding Barker's follow-up, we may have an obstacle if Jason Blum tries to sanitize and commercialize his style. Listen, Luis, Jason Blum needs to get out of the way. Like, he just needs to stand aside. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I was reading, like, an article from Variety here today about the film and why it's taking off, and I don't need to use their shit. I got my own stuff. I don't need their stuff. Because, as you guys know, the stuff I do ends up turning into articles, like, days later. I don't care, because I'm doing this stream for fun. It's gold. Okay, you're the gold standard right here. You guys know that. Do I have to remind you? We're the gold standard here. Oh wait, wrong one. Sorry, guys. That's my bad. I'm pushing the buttons. Where the hell is my gold standard? I lost it. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Bring that comment back, Gone Girl. But you look at Jason Blum here going forward with Barker. If I was Barker, I'd be like, I need you to step aside. You know, it's like your participation trophy is over there. I don't need any of your assistance because literally, if you look at the films that Jason Blum has made, I don't want your advice. I mean, I don't want it. Me, on the other hand, hell yeah, come on here, Erick. Let me see what you got. Do you like that? Oh, I love it. I love that. How about this? Have you thought about that? Awesome. What about this? What about that line? You want to change it here? I think this is good. I like that. Why don't you lean into this? Why don't you try that? Jason Blum's like, oh, it's great. Oh, it's so good. Oh, you're so amazing. Oh, I love everything you're doing. Nothing, insightful whatsoever. Remember, he liked that movie, The Surfer. Did you see that shit with Nicolas Cage? That movie's not good. Now, listen, it's not as bad as Wolfman or Megan 2, but it's not good. And he's like, this is a great film. I'm like, okay, see, this is the problem. He thinks that's great. See, that's the issue. If you think stuff like that's great, then you can't, what do you know? You don't know anything. You have no taste. None. I mean, I'm sorry, it's true. You saw it, right? Coach, you saw Imaginary. It's bad. It's bad. And it's not just that. It's over and over and over. But again, if we're going to talk about Blumhouse, we're getting on to our review coming up momentarily. Because, actually, let's do Boba Fett first. I'm sorry, my bad. Mandalorian. It would have been better if it was Boba Fett. We'll talk about that right now because it's important that you guys understand what I was talking about this morning on Midnight Movie Money, which is our box office show. I think some people just miss the point of when I make these points, they either purposely forget what I'm trying to say or they're just like plain doltish. But I'm going to explain something to you. So this weekend, Mandalorian and Grogu opened at a shade under 82 million for the 3-day. Now, as we mentioned on this morning's show, this film was given a $100 million debut because tomorrow's Memorial Day. So what looks better? It looks better to say that this film is at 100 million. So what you need to understand is we don't play the cloudy the water and spin shit business here. We say, here's the deal. This film opened at $81.96 million. That is under Solo. But here's the key distinction and why we are the gold standard. Because, let me just put that up. I'm going to leave this up because you guys need to remember, for those of you who don't have a very short attention span, this is why we're the gold standard. I'm going to go back. You saw it this morning. You're going to watch it again because you need to understand why we are the gold standard. Let's do the inflation calculator. Solo opened in 2018. Okay. So, as a film that opened in 2018 at 84.4 million, There's the number. Look what it needs to make to bank what it did then today, $112, let's round, $1 million. So we are $30 million off. Now, here's the thing. I didn't mention budget. Don't do this because I'm not talking about budget. I understand this movie wasn't expensive as Solo. What you're missing is bigger than that. And this is the thing is, why do I have the ability to see big picture and some of you have this like complete and utter like blindness to it? Like, I don't understand. How do you not understand the importance of this? Let me state it as clearly as possible to somebody who just can't seem to grasp big picture. If you are $30 million under in today's cash versus Solo in 2018, which was not a success, that means that we are substantially under in interest level for Star Wars the franchise. Oh boy, that is a big point, isn't it, Eric? Thumbs up for you. Yes, it's not about the budget. It's about people caring and giving a shit about Star Wars. I can't believe I have to explain this shit. And you guys go watch Chris Stuckman. You go watch Mr. Jeremy Johns. You guys go watch all that crap. Movies with Amy and her boring ass box office show. You go watch Grace Randolph. You don't get what you get here. And I don't get anywhere near the views. I don't get anywhere near the likes. None of you like my stuff. Very disappointed in you. I'm kidding. I don't even care. But here's the reality is that we kill them. It's not even a contest. This is, if this were a boxing match, it'd be a one punch, they're knocked out. And yet I have to sit here and pretend that we are not the gold standard. I have to pretend that, no, because you guys know it and I know it. Unfortunately, the people who are completely oblivious to reality don't realize that there's no one in this space who nails shit like we do, and I have done for the past 26 minutes straight, live here from Los Angeles on a Sunday night. I want a thumbs up for that. That was money, that entire 26 minutes, better than most people streams the entire year, and this is a regular Memorial Day Sunday night stream. Comments on what I just said. Gone Girl, hit me with something. I want someone to say, this guy is the best. We've never seen anyone who's better than what we are watching right now. That just for me right now, based on how much I've put into this show and how much we just got out of this. Not a single comment, Gone Girl. Literally, that's all I get. I get nothing from you. See, this is what I'm saying. I have to now do it myself is what I'm going to have to do. All right, fine. I'll wait. Gone Girl, are you still there? I think Gone Girl fell asleep. I'll hit some comments. Someone in there is going to help me. Let's find out. Thank you. Mega Swiper, this is what I needed. I needed you to tell me this, and that's what I'm saying. I just need someone. You know, sometimes I need... This is good. But here's the deal. So you come for the jerseys. This is Bolton, okay? Bolton, and this is their sleeve patch sponsor. This is their League One. Is it League One or League Two? Hold on for a second. Do you guys see this? This is League. They're in League One. They're going up to the championship because they won today. And when I wear my kits, they're always field. They're the authentic version. You don't like Grace Weber. I thought you two would stop. You know what, Coach? Hey, listen, Gone Girl, I know you're back. Put Coach in timeout. I want Coach in timeout. I want him out for at least 1 minute. If he does it again, he's out for 2. Wait, Luis, hit Luis's comment right now. Can you do that, Gone Girl? Eric cooks film Twitter simps the same way Myron Gaines cooks the black community. Jesus criminy. The reality is, let's just be real. First of all, there's no. Did I mention that I have the full-on mullet right now? No, but seriously, guys, seriously, this is why film Twitter hates me so much, and I love the fact that they do because it just gives me more energy. I need that. I need the crowd to be like boo, because at the end of the day, I just disprove it every time. What I tell you guys, just quickly before we get ready for Passenger, which is a bad film, get ready. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The reason, what I love about all the hatred I get, I have never, and I mean never once, gotten a single comment that says, this guy's bad. Because they can't. Because that's the thing is, right, the haters still have to work with something. So they can't work with, I've said before, they can't work, he's fat. He's bald. He's bad. He has no, wrong. All these things you can't take. So I take everything away, and that's what drives them crazy. They discombobulate. I don't know what to do. Because typically it's very easy to dismiss. But in my case, they have nothing to attack, and I love it. This is what drives me. Do you understand that? If you're a hater out there, I want you to understand something. Every day I wake up, I use that fuel that you don't understand. I can somehow feel, and I just surge higher, baby. That's what I love. And you know, some of you probably like, I don't understand that concept. Too bad. Kobe used to do it all the time. Kobe talked about when he went into a game, he looked around and said, these guys are my mortal enemies. So even if some of these film Twitter people aren't my enemies, I will make them. Not in a bad way, but I'm just saying you need to create whatever. But in my case, I don't need to. They already are. They come after me. You know, like I said, when I walk into a critic screening, I look around and I go, holy shit, this is why OnlyFans exist, right? Not the creators, the people paying the OnlyFans people, because these people need to pay the OnlyFans people. Trust me, man. Go into a critic screening, you'll be like, holy shit. This is why we have hookers. I mean, it's the same thing, right? But this is why they're coming after me. They're coming. Roll up, film Twitter. You can't hang with the ace. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's get ready for our MMTE tonight. Is Passenger, which is a complete rip of Jeepers Creepers. I'm telling you what, Victor Salva has his own issues we're not going to get into. Please look those up. I'm not discussing those tonight. But if he wants to have a lawsuit against everyone involved with Passenger, guess what? I think he has a very valid one. Let's discuss. Here's 30 seconds of the longest feeling 94-minute film I've ever sat through. It's Passenger. MMTE starts now.
Daniel?
It's almost over. And that is the opening scene. So when you go to see Passenger, you just saw the opening scene compressed to 30 seconds. I wish the whole movie were compressed to 30 seconds. Let's talk about why this film's bad. Okay, I mentioned in the lead-in that Jeepers Creepers is, I didn't say this here, but I said it on my reaction stream coming out of AMC last night. I love Jeepers Creepers. I think it's a classic horror film. It is a creature feature. It is really smart. It's got the great heart, the relationship of Trish and Derry, some really smart dialogue, like, you know, that thing in the horror movies when someone does something stupid and everyone in the audience yells. That whole line's just brilliant. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I love the rural Florida feel to it because I used to live there. You know, you talk about Jeepers Creepers. I think it's very underrated. I think it's a very strong horror film, okay? But also the creeper himself. This is a knockoff without the creeper. Instead, we get a demonic hitchhiker guy, ghost thing. But guess what? Here's why it's similar. Let me explain this. First of all, in Jeepers Creepers, remember, what does the creeper want? He wants to smell them for their fear, and then he's going to basically hunt them and continue to hunt them and get his rocks off by getting them scared. Passengers like, there's a character that's like, listen, the reason that the passenger is tracking you down is he likes your fear. I don't know why he hasn't killed you, probably because he's enjoying it. I'm like, that's Jeepers Creepers, okay? There's a scene where the car comes up behind the van, just like the opening scene in Jeepers Creepers. There's so many things here as they traverse across to finally get the place where they can kill the passenger, which happens to be an abandoned church, which is exactly the same thing as Jeepers Creepers. And by the way, guess what happens to the abandoned church? It catches on fire just like Jeepers Creepers. Guys, this movie is 100% rip. And I'm telling you right now that Victor Salva, and trust me, guys, I don't want to get into all the allegations. Listen, that's a whole no. I'm just telling you that dude could sue because this film is complete and utter lifting of that. Horror trope city, right? Jump scares. Oh my God. You know a film's bad when it's always got to have a jump scare like you saw there in that trailer, right? All of a sudden, oh, he's next to me. You know, just that shit is so cheap. You go look at Obsession. We talked about off the top here, a film that's minimal on the jump scares. The scares are natural, right? They just show up. Her dark in the corner. Whatever it is, it's not a jump scare. It's just a creepiness to it. I mean, you go back to The Ring. The other film that did a really nice jump in the second weekend like Obsession. Same kind of thing. Creepy, right? Not so much a jump scare. Yeah, there'll be a jump scare here and there, no question. But This film is all about jump scares. There's nothing scary as this couple is doing the van life thing and they come across the passenger and we're stuck with them as they traverse all the way across the United States. It is the longest 94 minutes I have ever sat through in my life. I think I saw a comment that said the exact same thing. And I can tell you this, that it's correct. I was looking at my watch going, holy shit, I got another 30 minutes of this? I don't think I can do it. The only reason I sat through it is because if I leave, I cannot fully review it because that's not fair. I'd have to say I left. But I did sit through it. I'm pissed off, and all the influencers who said this was good and did the bidding of Paramount who put this film out, you all suck. You all are shills. I hate all of you. Okay, is that fair? I think that's very, as nicely as I can put it, you all are the scum of the earth, and we need to get control of the space back. I will be the ultimate arbiter of what is good and bad, and this film is bad. It's a 10% down. Big time. That is not a 1, but it's a 1 out of 10 if you look at it out of 100, correct? I'm doing my ratios correctly. It's not a something out of 69. If it were something out of 69, it would be probably like a 7 out of 69. Is that correct? I think that my ratio matching is close. Lord, welcome back to the channel. Jumping to obsession to passengers, one of the worst decisions I ever made. I know, you're right. I did that because remember, I saw Grogu on Thursday. I saw Passenger last night, and then I was like, wow. After obsession, right? It's like having the best sex of your life, and then you're stuck with like this, just like milk toast Chris Stuckman character. No, listen, I don't want you to insinuate that I'm saying I want to be with Chris Stuckman. I'm saying, you know what I'm just using. Oh, Weber, this is too much. You just went over the line. You've said a lot of things before, but I think this is the one time that you went too far. Honestly, I think Passengers would have worked better as a short film, 100%. The first few minutes, the whole movie felt too long. I found it pretty boring. The couple, right? I mean, they do all the things we've seen before. Again, it's trope central. It's just unloading of trope. And you just go, I've seen all this, jump scares, this isn't scary, and I still have a long way to go. Can't we just get there? You think it's over, and then all of a sudden here comes the passenger again, just like we've seen in all haunting movies. Oh, you killed the apparition. Oh no, here comes the apparition. Like, okay, I got it. Can we finally just end this film? But yeah, this was a bad choice for me. I mean, I could have seen I Love Boosters. Can I quickly talk on that? I talked about it this morning. I need you guys to understand something. When I saw the trailer for I Love Boosters, right, which is Boots Riley, just came back, didn't do well, did like under $4 million on a wide release by Neon. It's a $20 million film. They're going to lose a lot of money on that film. It just looks like Kishi kind of film that I don't like. Look, I like Wes Anderson a little, in just a little bit. And once I get too much Wes Anderson, I'm out. This looks like a version of a Wes Anderson, just the kind of stuff that I don't really want to sit through. And then also, I'm opting out of I Love Boosters, but I also want to say something else. First of all, I'm not voting in a critics group, so don't tell me like I'm not seeing everything. It's my choice. I can do whatever I want. Don't tell me I have to see I Love Boosters. The other half of the equation, and this is not playing into it, like this isn't the reason. If I want to see I Love Boosters, I see it anyhow. But let's just be real. If I go see I Love Boosters and I say it's bad, guess what's going to happen? Someone's going to say, well, you think it's bad because it's directed by a black man. This happens, and I'm telling you right now, if I get that one more time, I'm just going to lose it. I can't do this anymore. So I'm just, unfortunately, because of those two things, it's not the number two reason is not the number one reason, but the number one reason is because I don't want to watch that film. Okay, and I've heard from a lot of people it wears on you fast. Okay, I watched a few seconds of it last night. I walked in and just to watch like about a minute or two. I can't watch this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to. I'm just not. This is not for me. Okay, but at least I'm honest about that. You don't see me going into I Love Boosters and coming out going, this movie's awful. Maybe it's good for what it's trying to do. I'm just telling you, I don't want to be part of it. Okay, I Love Boosters wasn't going to be huge anyways. Those films are mostly catered to film Twitter. But Luis, just answer me this. Let's just talk for a second here. Let's have a conversation. Can we have it heart to heart, everybody? Tell me I'm not wrong of what I just said about I Love Boosters and if you don't like the film. Just let's talk about that. Can we have a conversation here? Just come in the comments and tell me what I just said is 100% accurate, especially with film Twitter. And especially with me. It's happened to me before where, you turn around, I love a film like Bone Temple, directed by a black female. No one wants to bring that up. They want to bring up the fact that I thought Sinners was overrated. It's like, wait a second. It's all about the actual film, but it gets old, right? When you have to do that over and over and you have to even like entertain the idea, it makes you nauseous, okay? So I'm just at the point where I'm just going to be like, I don't want to watch the movie already. And if it's going to get me, because here's the thing is you guys know how hard I am on films. The chances of me having a lot of notes and negativity towards that film based on what I saw from the trailer is very high. So therefore, I'm going to opt out. And again, that's That's your own personal decision. This is not something I have to do. This is a hobby. I think we all have it as a hobby. Listen, the vast majority of people that do what I'm doing, unfortunately, do not make a living at it. It's the reality of it. But at the end of the day, you still have, whether it's a hobby or whether it's a profession, you still could say I'm not going in. If I'm a film critic and they say, hey, listen, you want to see Terrifier 4? I'm like, no, I saw Terrifier 3. I don't need any more of that. I don't like torture porn. And that's what that film is, right? And I don't like glee in the death and just the sadomasochistic bullshit. I just don't like it. So I'm allowed to opt out. And so I don't want to hear anyone ever tell me that you can't, or that's not professional of you. Don't ever come in here and say that to me, okay? I'm going to make that very clear. Don't do that. First of all, you're not my judge, you're not my Lord and creator, so don't ever do that, okay? And then second of all, don't be that person if you are that person. And I'm talking to people out there that are watching right now that do that because it's low-hanging fruit. It's garbage. It makes you the bad person. I'm going to make sure that's very clear. But listen, I Love Boosters was a really iffy decision when it comes to Neon. You know, Neon just throws money away a lot of times. You just look at what they do and you go, what are you doing? I would have taken the money for I Love Boosters and thrown it right into Obsession. I mean, again, listen, I've talked to you before, and I know Neon, some of you in the office watch. I need to make this very clear to you. If I was over at Toronto and they showed Obsession, midnight screening, I said, let's all get in there and let's talk about it. I would have said, how much money do we have? Because if we have 20, we're going to 20. Focus is at 14, let's go 15. 16, let's go to 20. And if you say 20 is the hard out, then 20 is it. Let's go to 20. If they don't want to go to 20, then if they do and they go to 21 and you can't go to 21, we're out. But I can maybe take it 22 if you want to do that. That's how strong I feel about this, okay? We need to have this discussion. I'm sorry, you spent what on I Love Boosters? You spent $20 million? Oh my God, why? Why'd you do that? Okay, that's money I could have used here. I could have used that money. But instead you did what? Is that virtue signaling shit? Because I don't, yeah, right. Oh, that instantly, that's trouble, right? But the reality is that, I don't know, maybe it's a good film. I'm just saying, you know, and I know that if I have a script as a white male and another person, a black male, has a script that's identical, which one has a better chance of being made? Let's just be real. Can we be real? Just be real. Tell me right now, which one has a better chance of being made? Just answer the question. You guys know. So, but I'm saying that's fair. Again, if you don't like what I have to say, that's too bad. What I'm saying is fair, and it's true. And you guys know that it's not like I'm making stuff up or I have an agenda. I'm saying the reality, especially in Hollywood. Hollywood's all about that. Okay. And see, by the way, can I just tell you, we're now 41 minutes into this. No one is able to do what I just did. I just watched the stream from the beginning to be able to sag between all these things and be very cogent about it. Sorry, guys. I understand that it's like, well, this guy is so full of himself, because I know what I'm doing is better than most people can do. And I say things that most people wouldn't say. So I need some fucking love for that. Because it takes a lot of guts sometimes to say this shit. Because what I just said, something, oh, that's kind of dangerous. It's true. So if you don't like it, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. Is it true is the question. Not if it makes you feel bad or you don't like how that, too bad. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't have an issue with truth. Okay? That's for real. At worst, I Love Boosters looks like a black community's Mickey 17. Oh my God. Don't even get me started about Mickey 17. Oh, by the way, I'm surprised that get called anti-Asian for hating on Mickey 17, even though I love Parasite's amazing. As I mentioned, go back to a Shoplifters, go back to a Return to Seoul, go back to a Decision to Leave. Oh, wait a second. He hates all Asian movies. I mean, you know, that's what these people do. The film, let me tell you, I've said this before. Let me just make sure it's clear. Every stream I get a chance to do this. Film Twitter consists of some of the weirdest outcasts of society I've ever seen in my life. They're generally miserable people. I'm just being real. There you are. Generally weird people that generally have, I think, a fair, healthy dose of lack of, confidence. And I think that's why I get a lot of that vitriol, because I definitely don't display those things. I display confidence. I display certitude. It's just the way I run my life is very much on point, and like, this is how we're doing it. And for them, they're like, I don't know if I want to do this. What color do I want to make a hair today? I want to make it blue, green, rainbow. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know. That I don't work with that. It doesn't work with me. Okay. I work with results. I work with doing things I don't necessarily want to do because I have to do them. I've said this before on this stream, right? I've done the stream how many times? There's times when I start the stream, like, I don't want to do the stream. And I go, let's just go. because you have to do it. In life, you got to show up. So I just do it. And look, we're almost done. I've got 20 minutes. I can do 20 minutes in like 2 seconds here. It goes by in this thing. I got trailers to watch. We got IMAX sale to talk about. I'm hoping Scary Movie 6 actually good, makes fun of all those trashy horror movies that came out over the last 10 years. It'll be fun. I mean, look, it's tracking really well. I think it's another big audience community thing like we're seeing with Obsession. People want to see that with a crowd and laugh and have fun. Look at Michael, same thing. These movies with crowds, you're starting to see that come back, and this is great news for theaters. You know, a few months ago, you guys know I was talking about how we're in a really bad place. Obsession has really changed a lot of that. You know, again, you need to make things theatrically exclusive, and you need to make great films. And, you know, when you're back to Blumhouse, when you're making things like Night Swim and Imaginary and this kind of garbage, okay, this is eroding trust in cinema. When you make films like Obsession, you are making people go, oh my God, I want to come back. This is the kind of film I want to watch. They're talking about it. They're buzzing about it. They're not buzzing about Megan 2. You know, again, everyone should be fired who made Megan 2. Every single person who said yes to that film should be absolutely cast out of society. If you're going to make, seriously, out of Hollywood for sure. If you're going to make a Megan 2, you make it darker and rawer and nastier. Make it like Terrifier. Don't go goofy. What the hell was that sci-fi? Did you see Megan 2? If you didn't see it, you don't know. But trust me, again, I'm the creative guy. Bring me in. I'm going to say this works, this doesn't. It's that simple. Nobody's better because I'm not going to play the game of, well, who made this? Are the DEI higher? I'm going to be like, this is bad. Well, you can't say that. It's by. I don't give a shit who it's by. It's bad. Do you guys understand this? Why do you not understand what I'm saying? Why can I say that it's bad? Because I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings? Too bad. This younger generation needs to understand. Get your feelings hurt. If I got my feelings hurt by film Twitter's lame ass posts like the other days, I'm like, well, you look like you spend all your time on Grindr. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's the best you can do. And not only that, but it's like, give me a fucking break. Like that's just like low hanging bullshit. Like be smarter. Be more clever. Say something like your mullet's not long enough. And then I'll go, well, that's actually kind of hurtful. it's getting there, but it's not as long as I'd like. That'd be more hurtful. But these people are weirdos, man. Bunch of weirdos. Film Twitter never met J-Lo. Well, I don't know what that, because J-Lo's hot. That's all me. Well, thank you. I forgot my own stories. This is correct. Hold on, everybody. Because it almost looks like I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me see if I can find it in my tweets. Just real quick, and then we're going to watch a trailer. Just real fast, I'm going to look because that's my bad. I want to say this, Omega Swiper, it's 100% my fault. And I want to say I'm so sorry for not remembering my picture with J-Lo. Hold on, where is she? Hold on, I can't find it. Yeah, hey everybody, thank you. This is Coach. Actually, no, sorry, Mega Swiper. I owe you one for this because this is for you, and I found it, and I'm very happy because exactly, Film Twitter has never been this close to J-Lo, who frankly was grabbing my ass in this picture. Can I just tell you right now? Do you see this? She was grabbing my ass. I'd never said that until now. That's a younger me to have quite as much gray hair. Look, can you not tell she's totally into the ace? But again, this is not photoshopped. That's the thing, is like, these guys don't understand. Like, I've lived, you have no idea the stuff I've done. I'd say, like, I always tell these stories and you guys always go like, oh, Weber's on one. He's not suggesting that Elizabeth Olsen was like, hey, you're kind of cute. No, that never happened. Dudes, what do you want me to do? This is what Film Twitter hates. Too bad, Film Twitter. This is the old ace. I don't do this anymore. I don't need to. I'm my own celebrity. I don't need to hang out with J-Lo. I go around and everyone over at AMC Burbank go, oh, that's that fucking asshole. Look at that guy. I hate that fucking guy. Why do you hate him? I don't know. I just fucking hate him. Look at him. He's so arrogant. He's so certain. We hate people like that. I didn't decide what color hair I was going to wear today until very early this morning when I was in the shower and I was deciding between orange and yellow. And I went with a hybrid. Orange yellow. This is just live riffing, okay, guys? But right, that's Film Twitter. They are like literally like the Island of Misfit Toys weirdos. You're like, ooh, where did you guys come from? Did you crawl under? I know it's cliche, but what rock? I mean, oof. Weesh, man, I understand why you were thinking about staying in. Oh, Weber's at it again. This is why we hate him. He's just mean. Too bad. It's true. Please watch the trailer for Hope. Okay, let's do it, because I had a request from that for our good friend who's running the show tonight. Thank you. Not me. I'm really running the show, but Gone Girl's here. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer. maybe a little longer tonight because it is Memorial Day tomorrow, so it's not really a work day for anyone. Well, unless you're like working at like Vons or Ralph's, and then it is. But if you work somewhere other than Target, you probably have the day off. Here we go, guys. You guys ready? Let's watch the trailer for Is It Hope? Okay, I gotta find it. Also, I have another trailer we're gonna watch, and it is the Refn movie, which got destroyed by critics. So that makes me very sad. I gotta be honest. I'm very, very, very sad about that. But let's get ready. Let me find it. Hold on. I'm on the page. Can you guys see it? Let's get rid of J-Lo. It hurts me. I just want to leave that up like the rest of the stream because I forgot about that night. That was just a moment. That was such a moment. Here we go. All right, let's find it. It's called Hope. Hold on. Let me put in Hope trailer. It's a lot easier than looking through all this shit. Here, I got it. Okay, here we go. Hope trailer. All right. Hope teaser trailer. 147. Give me a second. I got a quick ad to sit through. Give me a second here. Quick ad. Then we're on the other side. This is live, man. I don't edit any of this shit out. You guys know that. If I did, the show would be not any better. It'd be the same. It'd be the same garbage show. All right, here we go. You guys ready? And did it win at Cannes? How'd it do over there? I have no idea. I didn't follow shit for Cannes. I don't care. I'll just see it when it comes out. Do you guys think I actually trust anyone that's over at Cannes? Seriously, name a critic you really trust. Don't say Guy Lodge. That guy, talk about a pretentious prick. That guy is. I'm not a pretentious prick. I'm definitely, somewhat pretentious, but I'm not really a prick. I mean, what I say, sort of, but like in person, that guy's really like literally thinks he's like the fucking king of the world. I'm like, Guy fucking Lodge, whatever, dude. You know, as a critic, you're okay. I'm not going to say he's the worst. He's not Robert Daniels, but he's not great. I would never say, oh, I can't wait to hear what Guy Lodge has to say about anything. I have a better track record than any of these people. I don't care who they are. No one at Cannes has a better track record than me. You know it. Here we go. Let's watch it. You guys know it. The studio should fly me there and say, here's what we're buying. But they won't because they're afraid. Also, I'm a white guy. We can't have a white guy on staff. That wouldn't be good to the DEI numbers we have to run. Zombie movie? I'm just guessing. We've seen so many. I mean, end of the world, obviously. That's pretty badass. I don't know what else has this person done. I don't know. I like cinematography. I don't know if I've seen any of those. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think I have.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wait, is it like Quiet Place then, right? Yeah, it's totally Quiet Place. Oh, that's just Quiet Place. I mean, I like the horror stuff. This reminds me of really in love with that shot. It's a little too much, but you know, it looks very Quiet Place. Is that what everyone's saying? It really does. It looks extremely that. Any comments on Hope? But yeah, it looks pretty good. Have you guys seen his other films? Is it? I assume it's him because there's more male directors. So look at me, you chauvinist piece of shit. But I'm just saying, I don't know. Looks awesome. It looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, the problem is it looks very Quiet Placey, right? I like to see original stuff. Now you're gonna say Obsession's not original. Well, fair. I mean, it's fair. It's not, but it's done so well. It's got to be done really well. But yeah, I'd rather watch this than Passenger. I just said, did I mention Passenger's the longest 94 minutes ever? Well, there you just did. Okay, let's watch. I got another one. Let's watch the Refn trailer. Here we go. Refn trailer, and then we are going to get ready to run the Comet Blast closeout. Quickly on the IMAX sale. I didn't really get to it tonight. If I don't get to it, we'll see. I mean, listen, I understand what IMAX is trying to sell right now, or at least exploring the sale, because right now movies are doing well. IMAX is up. People are going to see movies in IMAX. If you're going to sell, you sell at your max value, right? So that, like, look at Warner Brothers. We're going to sell after they had Sinners, after they had Minecraft. They didn't do it before that. So that's the point, right? You sell when it's the ideal time and you jump. And I'm not suggesting that IMAX is going to completely fall off, because I think someone else comes in that can do it. They'll probably keep the CEO, keep obviously the team, but I could see a studio owning it. In these days, anybody can own anything. So there's not anything like, well, a studio can't own. That shit's over, right? Those days are done, where you can't have monopolistic shit. Okay, here we go. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. It's the other trailer. It's the trailer for the Refn movie. Boy, the critics absolutely savage this. That means, first of all, if the average critic is savaging this, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to absolutely destroy it, because these people don't go as hard as me. Name another critic who went as hard as me on Jason Blum tonight. Name one. No one. You're not going to get one. Not one person. Even if they thought it, they wouldn't do it, because they're afraid. Because here's what would happen. Just quickly back to what I said about Jason Blum here earlier, about how, I've never seen someone with less talent in my life at a position of importance. It's just nasty. It's brutal. It's true, though. It's true. It's true. It's fair. It's fair. I'm not just saying that. It's not personal. I don't know Jason. I'm just telling you, I've seen his films, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching? This is terrible. Who thought this was good? Is that the access gets taken, and the critics, if you work for a Variety or a THR, if I was doing a podcast for Deadline, THR, or whichever, doesn't matter. Even your boy Sean Fennessy, who's milquetoast, boring, not good live, I would destroy him in a one-on-one contest, in a live stream. It wouldn't even be it would just literally be like, this isn't even a game. You look at a Sean Fennessy. These people can't do that, because they're going to get called up by a studio. They're going to say, we're not going to give you a director, because what will happen is, if I savage Jason Blum, let's say Chris Nolan is coming out with the Odyssey, that's all tied in, right? So Jason makes a call and says, guess what? You're not going to get Nolan for Odyssey because you ripped on me. That's how this works, right? So I don't have any of those ties. I don't have to worry about that. So when I don't have to worry about that, it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't have to worry about a director coming on here. If they want to come on, then come on. But I'm not going to worry about a studio controlling anything in my life ever again. It'll never happen. I used to kind of worry about, am I going to get an invite to this movie or that movie? I can tell you this, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see any of these invites. I'll go see it myself at AMC. It's easier enough to deal with the critics. I told you guys how the critics, every time I go, I got stink on me. I don't want to go home and have to take a shower. I mean, I'd take one night. I got done playing volleyball today. I took a shower. But after I go to critic screening, I got to take like 2 showers. It's like I get out and I go, nope, still on me. The critic stink's still on me. I got to go. I got to go back in. Let's get the borax. Let's get the SOS pads and let's get after it. This is, I'm not saying it's a great stand-up routine, but this is more of a stand-up routine than most people certainly anyone in the film space. No one. Except for, hey, everybody, it's Jeremy Jones. Right, that guy. He's got a lot more views than us, but I mean, look at me. Hey, I saw the thing. He's like the Vinny Maniscalco of critics.
There's not a single person that is like you.
Okay, this is the Refn film.
Say it with me. I am.
Okay. Neon Demon, not a great film. Drive, oh god, talk about cinematically erect. Okay, Drive is the most cinematically erect maybe I've ever been. That's because I love this town. I'm in here in LA. It's an LA film before it went to hell. It still was kind of a little shady. You could, by the way, just quickly on this before we watch more, you couldn't even make Drive now, because remember at the beginning of Drive, they break into the place and they're like, you have like 2 minutes before the cops show up. Now they'd break into a place because you got 45 minutes before a cop shows up, maybe an hour. So the entire movie would be them just stealing shit. There'd be no other rest of the film. By the way, no AI could ever do this show. I don't care if you have the smartest AI on planet Earth, they could never do what I do, because they don't have the collective memory I have of all the things I have and the way I view them. That's what makes this show singular, unique, and the gold standard. No question, baby.
Unique consciousness.
She's like us, but she's not one of us.
Again, very thrilled to see this film until I heard it's terrible, but it's fine. I'm excited to see it. Opens in July. Let's continue. I just love his visual style. Only God Forgives.
Stardust.
I don't hate. It's not as good as Drive. Neon Demon I don't love. But my boy's getting ripped. What's his name? Henry? No, what's his ass name? This looks very much like Only God Forgives right here. I mean, it's a Refn film.
The moment you forget that
Her Private
is
Hell.
the moment you disappear.
Yeah, someone said pretentious and only for himself and all the things that I hate. I have a feeling it's going to be that. But, Neon, that's Neon. Neon, Luis, you don't need to tell me. I mean, how many times I listened to A Real Hero and to Under Your Spell and the opening track, oh, God, Night Call by Kavinsky. Oh, dude, you have no idea. And then also the Cliff Martinez score. It's fantastic. Cliff Martinez should have done more scores. I don't know why he didn't. I just love, the thing about that film, and go look on Twitter. I have it somewhere. You can search for it. I did a drive 10 years after. During COVID, I went around LA and found all the locations and took shots now versus when it was shot. It was shot in 2010. And because it came out in 2011, right? 2011, I think. 2011. Was it 2012? I think it's 11. But it was shot the year before. But here's the thing I love about that film. Knowing LA, because I lived in LA before I moved away and then I came back, is that film was shot in September, October. You can tell it's got that fall feel. And guess what? 100%. It was shot in September, October, November. Because that's the way that there's so many shots of the sun low to the horizon. That's just how LA looks at that time. People now are saying that was the last film that was shot in LA before everything was switched to LEDs, so the lightings, the mood stuff. Drives an absolute neo-noir, brilliant fucking film. I just absolutely adore it. I love the score. I love everything about that film, the escalation of violence. A little too much, like I said, the elevator scene, but Drive overall is just my kind of film. If you ask me what kind of movie do I want to watch, and go back and look at a Crime 101, not nearly as good, but very much in the vein. No question, he was absolutely aping that film, okay, in so many ways, from the score to the look of the film. It's very much of a Drive, a love letter. As much as I hate saying that, you guys know I despise hearing that, but it was no question inspired heavily by Drive. And I like Crime 101. It's one of our favorite films of the year. You talk about this year, just quickly before we get out of here and we get ready for the Comment Blast closeout, is that this year's been great. It really has. I go back to Bone Temple. I go to Obsession. I go to Crime 101. These are three really good films. Still some really cool small films like Omaha, or some other ones I've seen this year. I'll come up with them, the list. But I'm telling you right now, we are only in May, and I've got a lot of strong films. First of all, Obsession is likely going to be very close to number one because it's so highly graded, right? We had it at 97. Was it 97%? 96? Way up there. Because the moments are so great, okay? So that's going to be a very high score to beat, very hard, because once you start getting in the 96, 97 for me, 93 we can do, like a Crime 101 was probably 93. So once we start getting up that high, you're talking about, it does look like Neon Demon. I totally agree with you, DK. I don't know why. Here's the problem too. I also heard that this one wasn't that great. Hopefully they give us a killer soundtrack to blast while driving. But I mean, one of the reasons that soundtrack works is because the film's so good, right? If this, as you know this, DK, but I'm just saying, if the film isn't as great as Drive is, then you're not thinking about the Drive soundtrack. So, that's kind of the thing, that you have to still be able to deliver a good film. So that's paramount, and then everything goes under that. Obsession. Why is it the runaway smash that we talked about at the top? Because it's so great. It's that simple. Okay. The Plague. Which one? Which one's The Plague? I don't know. Johnny, help me out. At this point, my mind's like completely fried because I've been doing this for an hour. So I've lost all ability to even comprehend basic things. I just, before we go here, I just want to get a little bit more love for the mullet. All I want from you right now, guys, is to come in and tell me that the mullet is coming in really nicely. That's all. It's honest to God. That's all I want, because I'm going to keep it going. I was just watching an old 80s wrestling thing, and Rick Rude, first of all, has great abs, kind of like me. He has this, it's all the way here. So my aim is to get it from here to here. I want it to kind of hang like a totally ridiculous, I look like I belong in middle of nowhere, Florida, stuck in 1991, right? Just total, just absolutely Richard Marx mullet shit. And that's what I want to do. So I'm getting there. It's nice. I've got a lot of natural curl to my hair. So it would be longer, but it bunches up. But I think that's really good for the mullet. When you look at the ability to pull the mullet off, you got to have a little bit of curly hair. Other comments before we midnight mullet talk. What do you guys think? I think we should do, that's what we might have to do. I might have to do a one-off episode of midnight mullet talk where we don't talk about movies. We'll talk about all these other things. Maybe we'll do a midnight mystery talk in the near future, one of these nights, because there's a lot to talk about. There's some crazy shit happening. You guys know how I feel about what's happening. Just quickly on that before we get out of here. Yes, one of the best. Oh, God. Ravishing Rick was badass. I love that guy. And also just fucking jacked, but not like too big, but big and ripped, right? Not like big and squishy. Just fucking ripped. Skinny legs like me, so I totally identify with him. But yeah, he was like Popeye the Sailor Man as a wrestler. What a stud Rick Rude was. Good and great on the mic too. He'd come in and now what I'd like all of you to do, all of you fat, out of shape, Columbus, Ohio crapheads. I want you to stand back and watch as a real man takes off his robe and shows the ladies what a real man looks like. Hit the music. That was Rick Rude. That's like I would be so good as that role in like pro wrestling. I really should have been a pro wrestling manager. I'd come to the ring and I'd be like, look at all of you. You guys are a bunch of losers, right? You know that, right? I know you know that. I'm just telling you so you guys understand. And the crowd's like, boo, this guy sucks. Like, yeah, but my man's not a loser. Here comes the killer mullet. Everybody get on your feet. And people will be like, this guy's the worst. The problem is that I'd have to eventually take a bump, right? Because it's pro wrestling. They'd be like, get in there, Weber. You're going to take a gigantic super slam, a superplex off the top rope. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing this shit. The one from January with the kid. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Johnny. Oh my God. I totally forgot about the plague. That was like the first film we saw. The problem with that, Johnny, is I probably will continue. I'll probably have it in my top. It was kind of a film from last year. Like it was an awards film from last year, but it only opened in January, which I have this thing about like, if it's not officially a film from this year, I can't include it, but I might because I really like that film. That's a great call, Jen. Thanks for remembering. Sometimes I honestly need to start a Letterboxd because first of all, the people would hate me on there even more, but just not because I want to do a Letterboxd, just to remind myself what films I love, right? Not even write a review, just here's the stars and just that's it. That way I can just slot, because otherwise I forget. I mean, because, I see so many movies, I just forget. But, I don't expect anyone to follow, nor do I care. That's the thing is, like, I don't want to add another thing to my business, right? All right. Oh, Lex Luger was a badass. Lex Luger was a total badass. All right, let's listen to the track from what he called here tonight, and then we'll get ready to go here. Give me a second. Here it is. This is called "Can You Sleep with Me." This is the track from Obsession. The night we did the live MMT, told you my brain's fried. I wanted to play the score, but it wasn't available yet, so here it is. I finally found it here. Midnight Mystery for Disclosure Day. Great idea. We'll do that. On Disclosure Day, we'll do a Midnight Mystery talk right after, and we'll just do it like 1-2, and I'll switch, and we'll do the lights different and all that. But here, just quickly on that, since we haven't done one in a while, I'm just going to make this very clear, and I'm just going to tell you I know I'm right, and I hate saying this. Those in charge are 100% aware that we have a calamity of wipeout portions on the way. I don't know what it is, but they are aware. All the signs are there that something bad is coming. And I don't mean a person. I'm talking about something out there. Okay? I'm not talking about aliens either. I'm talking about a planetary object. I'm just telling you, I almost have like visions of it, and I know that makes me, Weber really has lost it. I'm just telling you guys, I'm really good at feeling things. That's what makes me really good at this, is that I have the ability to kind of like just feel things and understand and comprehend in a way almost like spiritually. And I really have this feeling that it's a bad feeling. Not that I worry about it, because I can't do anything about it, right? I think about this all the time. Like, I drive home from the beach today, and I'm on the 5, and I'm coming through downtown LA, and I'm just saying to myself, if I look up in the sky and see kind of what I've kind of envisioned, I would just be like, let's go, it's done. Hey baby, roll up. I mean, what are we gonna do? How you can't live your life worrying about this stuff. But I am firmly of the belief that they are aware. I think all the signs are there. They are 100% aware that we are on a timeline, and the timeline is about ready to end. So I'm gonna tell you, okay? I can't put it. It's. I'm just understand that. I need to say that. So if it does, you'll be like, Weber was right about another thing. Look at him again. Weber's right about everything. I don't know how it was, because it's weird. I always knew, even as a kid, I always kind of just knew that I had a better grasp on things than a lot of people. And, you know, you talk about that, people just know, you know, like a Kobe Bryant knew when he was a kid, he's a great basketball player. Like, you just know it. So it's just reality. I'm sorry if I can't, if that sounds like conceited or whatever, you know what you're good at. Don't tell me you don't. You know, whatever it is, you know, you have a skill that you do better than other people. Everyone does. Do you think Backrooms will be A24's highest grossing film? Yes, I do. Certainly opening. Luis, Backrooms is setting up for a massive opening. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at 50 or more. I wouldn't be surprised at 60, 70. Honestly, I really wouldn't. We'll talk about it as we get up. That film, because I was in AMC last night walking out, and surprisingly didn't get popcorn thrown at me. Thank you, everybody. No, seriously, I do get looks at AMC Burbank. People are like, oh, that guy. You don't even fucking know me. Why are you even worried? Like, why you give me a look like this guy's the worst? You guys are all film Twitter losers. Why do I care about you? There's why. That's why they hate me. Too bad. I don't care. Seriously, guys, I'm going to make this very clear again before we go. Film Twitter is full of the Island of Misfit Toys weirdos, people that I don't really want to associate with. They're not normal cool people. I'm not saying I want to be with cool people, but they're not like people that are fun to be around. And I talk about that all the time. They're just not. You can tell. They're generally just like, ugh. I don't want to hang out with people like that. They're lame. Lame people. Don't want to do that. So yes, Luis, I completely think that it's going to be massive. Massive. And don't be surprised when it is. A couple more comments. We're out of here. If I didn't get something, too bad. It's my show. I want to do whatever I do. I do an hour, a little bit extra tonight. Weber's one with the Universe He-Man. Yeah. Guess what? That comes out. Tochi comes out on Wednesday, the early access. I'm likely going to see it Wednesday because it's probably something on Thursday. I can do like a 1-2. If I do see He-Man, I'm going to do a short reaction here, MMTE. It'll be like 10-15 minutes, not long, on Wednesday night. I'll definitely do an out of theater like I do. A lot of you like those. They're short, so easy for me to shoot. I literally grab the camera and I go, let's just talk for a minute and move on. Like, I say this all the time. One of the reasons I love doing this show is because when I do it, it's on and it's over, right? It's not like I have to labor over it. I mean, put it together sometimes why I'm a little late. Sometimes I have to get all the stuff ready and the links and things. So it takes a little extra. Sometimes I'm like kind of trying to finagle some things. But in general, what's beautiful about this stream is that when it's over, it's over. I go to bed, you know, I get myself ready for the next day. Whatever it is, I'm getting ready for the gym. I got my outfit for tomorrow. You know, I don't have to sit here and like edit and worry and do all these things. And for me, that works. If I had to do something where I had to edit, where I'd be like, I don't want to do this, I'd stop. So I think I'm proud of myself. Can I just say that? I'm kind of proud of myself because when I started the stream back in 2022, I knew I wanted to do it and I've stayed at it. You know, we went from 3 nights to 2, but the reason I did that is not because I can't do 3 nights. I can do 3 nights. I can do 5 nights. It's very easy. I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to go to the point where I don't want to do it at all. So now I do the Sunday night show. I get a break. Thursday, break, Sunday. It's spaced out. You know, it's like kind of like going to the gym. I tell you guys, you can't go every day. You got to go maybe a couple days, break. Couple days, break. You need to take a break day. That gets you the energy to come back, the refractory period to have the interest. We know Erick's favorite movie of the year, The Bride. Oh, God. Nothing will be worse than The Bride. Listen, Bride's way worse than Passenger. I'd rather watch Passenger 3 times in a row, 4 times than watch The Bride again. One of the worst things. Maggie Gyllenhaal should never work again. I mean that, never. No way. I would never hire Maggie Gyllenhaal to do anything for me ever again after that film. That is the travesty of and $90 million. I can't even comprehend what they were doing over there at Warner Brothers. I would fire everybody. I told you guys the night I saw the film. I would fire everyone who had a decision in that film to say yes. Every single person who did not stop Maggie Gyllenhaal would be out of a job. Everyone. Every last one. I'd hunt them down. Say, did you go ahead and greenlight this at any level? Did you co-sign on this? Because if you did, you're out. Just be honest with me because I'm going to find out. You did, get your shut, you're out. You made The Bride, you're out. You're out of work. We're not doing this. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. I would call Maggie Gyllenhaal in. I wouldn't be mean to her face, but I'd just say, you have disgraced this studio. You have disgraced this studio. And as such, we're never going to work with you again, okay? And we wish you the best, but I just need you to know. It's like Shannon in you know, when you look at Albert Brooks' character and he's talking to Shannon, he's like, I need you to know that if you do this, it's going to be done when he's talking to Driver, right? That's how it is. That's how the conversation would be. I got the first 20 minutes of The Bride. It's no, Tochi, you have no idea. You don't understand. If you never saw The Bride, you don't understand the level of anger that I had sitting through that film, but not just the anger of forcing me through it, the anger of the selfish act of making a film for that much money that is completely unwatchable, garbage film, absolute trash. And I can't believe that they gave her that money and she threw it into and burnt the entire, just absolutely obliterated all that cash on that film. You're never working again, Maggie. Never. The feminist defense of The Bride. Yeah, that too, Luis. And that's not even the thing for me. It's the fact that it's just like Jesse Buckley should be like pretend memory hole that. Christian Bale for sure. All of them need to say to themselves, let's never discuss that again. And Maggie Gyllenhaal needs to go away for a long time. She's in Director's Island jail in Island. She's on Alcatraz. She's not just in Director's jail. She's on Director's jail in Alcatraz. She's isolated from society. That's unacceptable. And like I said, I'm going to make this very clear. Anyone who said The Bride is good and said Michael is bad, they're done. Like it's over. Like, don't ever say anything again. You will never be taken seriously or listened to by anyone on this planet who has any semblance of an IQ above 75. This is not acceptable. 50. I mean, dudes, you guys don't understand. There are people that thought The Bride was good. I'm just telling you, that's a career-ending call. Career-ending, not like, no. There's no returning from you saying The Bride is good. There's no way. It's done. And look, I talked about Menzel. I've talked about this with Menzel, and I know you watched the stream. Scott, dude, you don't understand. The damage that is done by you saying anything positive about a film like The Bride it's catastrophic. It is catastrophic. That is how it's not up for debate. I hate to say it. I know that makes me seem mean and judgmental. Too bad. You didn't see The Bride, and if you did, you have no idea what you're talking about if you don't think that's a piece of trash. Yeah, there we go. Anything else? And we're out of here. I don't know if is Gone Girl still here. Wow, Gone Girl, you stuck around. Anything else? Last thing, quick blast. Then we're gonna listen to a track and get out of here. I told you at AMC, Discourses with Wuthering Heights and The Bride exposed the psychology of modern women into film. Yeah, because Wuthering Heights is a great film. I love that film. I think it's very good. I love her filmmaking. By the way, female director. Wuthering Heights is 1,000 times the film that The Bride is across every level, and it's certainly a watchable film. It's got emotion. I don't care if you don't like the characters. The Bride is just insufferable. And we don't say that, it is truly an insufferable experience, and Maggie Gyllenhaal, you are never coming back from that. Never. No, you'll always have that on your record. That's going to do it here tonight. Get ready. We have our track that I like to play as we get out of here. This is a cool one. I was in the gym and I heard this and I was just like, I like this. It's got a bump to it. It's a little bumpy on the back end. I mean, like a little more thump than we used to have. But I love, this is a great melding of kind of a rap with this kind of housey trance progressive kind of thing. You'll hear, I'm a big progressive house fan. What does that mean? I love stuff like Eric Prydz. I go back to when I was a DJ in Columbus, Ohio, DJ Webslinger. I listened to bands like Spooky and DOP and, anything on the Gorilla label. This goes back to the early 90s, Left Field, a huge band for me. All those bands were seminal for where I'm at, and that's always going to be part of what I like. Electronic, it's why I like scores like what we hear. Electronic, Tangerine Dream kind of stuff with a thump. And this is a cool track. It's by ALAC. It's called If You Want It. As we get out of here on this Sunday, I want you to have a wonderful week, and we'll see you back here either Wednesday for Master of the Universe or Thursday for Master of the Universe. I don't know if I'm going to do it which day. Get the alerts on the MMT channel, Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube. Good night from LA. Here's the track. Enjoy.